Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Hello, hello, hello.
You know what that means. 643's back. We're gonna be talking about the spring training breakouts. Put me in coach. There's some ball players out there that are ready to play, I'd say. Lots of home runs today. I've been noticing that. We have a pretty good list. We're gonna list a few prospects each week. Not prospects, players that are fight for that starting spot. My players this week are prospects, but a lot of home runs today. I wanted to mention so many names, a lot of good baseball players out there, and a lot of people we've heard just in the past getting big. Now, you know, we heard them get drafted a few years ago. Now you're starting to hear their name a little more. Players like that. Won't give it away yet because we want to talk about them. My first player I'm going to talk about, I'm sure you know him. You're follow the Rays pretty well, but Chandler Simpson, he's the big talk right now. What's your thoughts on Chandler? You think he's going to get a starting spot this year?
I don't.
I think he will. Roster?
I think that's the question. I'm not sure if he'll make the opening day roster. He certainly impressed me so far. I wouldn't be surprised if he did get the opening day spot. If he doesn't, I don't think it's going to be too long. This guy, I love watching him. You feel the same, I'm sure.
Yeah. So he actually was drafted as a shortstop. So, you know, if you're drafted as a shortstop, You're probably one of the more athletic players on the field. We see a lot of shortstops go to different positions because they can transfer over so easily. O'Neal Cruz, Mookie Betts. But he is in the outfield now, and he's never really been known for his defense. Up until this spring, he's been showing his glove off a little more. As of now, he has 8 at bats. What is today? February 27th. 8 at bats. He's batting .500 with two stolen bases and 1 dot. So it's pretty good to start. Last year he had 451 at bats, where he hit .355, and he had 1 home run, 29 RBIs, 807 OPS. So he's got speed. He's like a Ruiz from Oakland, but he's got a bat like Luis Arias. It's looking like it, at least to me. Even his career at bats, he has 921 career bats with speed. 921 career bats, 322 average. Still only 1 home run in those, but 206 stolen bases. So if his glove starts showing up like it has in spring, I mean, he's gonna be a great player. I mean, that's hard to beat right there.
It kind of reminds me of
Rays have that
90s baseball.
Yeah. He's been fun to watch. I've been keeping an eye on him this spring just because he's been getting a lot of people talking about him, and I think he has a chance to make opening day roster. If not, he's going to be up there because the Rays, they like to put their young players up there and give them a shot. Maybe not opening day because you haven't really. I actually kind of thought Caminero had a chance to make opening day roster last year. I'm assuming he'll be up here this year. Maybe not. I don't know. But they have a lot of young talent. Second spring breakout, I'm going to have to go with our Cardinals, Quinn Matthews. Not sure if you've been paying attention to him, but he did win Pitcher of the Year last year. So his spring training so far, he's only pitched a few innings. I think actually only 2 innings, but he's got 3 Ks in those 2 innings, and one of them was flat junior. So he's looking good to start the spring. Big guy, 6'5", out of Stanford. So, I mean, last year he had 202 strikeouts in 143 innings, 2.76 ERA, and 0.98 WHIP. So, I mean, I'd like to see him up there. I think we have plenty of space in our pitching lineup to fit him in there, pitching rotation. So, what do you think on that? You think Quinn Matthews has a chance to make our? I want to see some of our younger talent get a start this year.
Right. If you kind of look at how what John Mozeliak and Bill DeWitt are kind of going for here and more of a rebuild in their younger players, I would say he definitely has a chance to make this opening day roster. And I encourage the Cardinals to do that. I mean, they really have nothing to lose. I mean, this is what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to bring up their young core. I mean, they haven't really been spending much. So, hey, what the heck? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of Cardinals last year was like the fun of it, at least. We ended up coming back a little bit, and I think we had a wild card game. But we obviously had a really rough start to the season, and the fun of it was seeing Mason Wynn up there playing, Jordan Walker go up and go down, and some of these new guys I even got to see play yet, like Pedro Pajes and Ivan Herrera even. So it'll be fun to see him up there. We got a few pitchers that I think that will fit fine just in our rotation. So hopefully he does. I mean, he looks like he's proved himself down in Double and AAA. So dominating in each level.
A couple other pitchers I wanted to add would be like Tink Hence, Michael McGreevy.
Oh yeah.
Michael McGreevy's first start last year was pretty impressive, So I think that maybe not this year, but in the coming years, the Cardinals rotation could be really good if they develop their pitching correctly.
I agree. We do have a lot of young talent, I'll say, down there. It seems like our AAA right now, there's a lot of guys that could probably come up at any moment. JJ Weatherholt, I don't think we'll see him this year. I guess there's always a possibility with injuries, or maybe he just dominates. Very well, he could. But he'll probably start off in AA, maybe AAA. But I'm excited for him to come up when we have him out there, and Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker, Ivan Herrera, and I think that's going to be a fun team. Plus all the young pitching they'll have come up, and Graphico as well.
Right.
But that's the two spring. Are we doing three? Are we gonna do a third? You want to talk about a third breakout, or do you have two?
Yeah, I'll get into my two real quick. So the first guy I have, I'm a big fan, Colson Montgomery, White Sox top prospect.
Yeah, Colson.
So
that's what we mentioned last episode.
Yep. We saw him last year in AAA game that we mentioned, of course, last episode, and he hit a home run. Now, last year he did only hit 214. Yeah, only hit 214, but he did hit 18 home runs, knocked in 63 RBIs, struck out 164 times. But this guy's only 22, so you got to give him time. Now, I will say September
he's young.
Was his best year. Yeah, September was his best month, where he hit 264, hit 4 home runs and 13 RBI. So it's a really good sign. This guy is he's big for a shortstop, 6'3". So but I'm excited. I think on a White Sox team we don't expect them to make the playoffs, right? I mean, you like to be hopeful, but on a rebuilding White Sox team, they really have nothing to lose. I say bring them up. So, what are your thoughts on Colson?
Yeah, I would. That's what I was getting ready to say. I would be surprised not to see him get a spot. I mean, he could start down in AAA just because of that strikeout rate and finish the season batting 214. But like you said, he showed it his last month of baseball. Sometimes you don't know if these players are battling injuries or different things are going on, and maybe he figured it out. Maybe there's something he switched up his last couple months of baseball, but he definitely has that power. So I don't know what kind of
Oh, yeah.
player he's going to be. He could come up and just be a straight home run hitter, and that's all he is. But him showing that he's a shortstop as well. I don't know if he'll stay at short. I don't know does he steal bases, or not saying shortstops have to steal bases, but
Right. He
being a
does
big
steal
guy
some
like that,
bases,
they
yeah.
could sticking him somewhere else. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. He's definitely got that raw power.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm
who
really
else you got
excited
on your list?
Right,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
kind of excited for this one. So this one, not a prospect, the complete opposite. We have Tommy Pham. So yes, Tommy Pham and
Love
Tommy
it.
Pham and Colson Montgomery, two very different players on very different stages of their career.
Absolutely.
However, both kind of fighting for a roster spot, in my opinion. Tommy Pham, 37 years old. One of the things I like about Pham is that, for one, his postseason experience. He's batting 315 career in the playoffs, 6 home runs. He's driven in 12. He's got that leadership, And I know, good and bad. Tommy Pham's kind of a, you love him or hate him, but on the field, you can't deny that he's had a pretty decent MLB career. He's played over 10 years. Not to mention, he also hits well against lefties. So I expect now the Pirates outfield is kind of sort of crowded. We have Andrew McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, G1 Bay, Joshua Palacios, Jack Sawinski, just to name some of those guys. So that's kind of one of the reasons why he's going to be fighting for this spot. And I think, like I said, you can almost, especially against lefties, you can plug him in almost anywhere of the lineup. And he's got some speed too.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a decent defender.
Oh yeah, he's got wheels. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if the Pirates, which I think we kind of mentioned last episode, that they have a good chance of making the playoffs, I think the NL Central is kind of sort of up for grabs. I think the Pirates have a decent shot, at least at a wild card. And I think he would be a really good piece. I mean, otherwise, the last few seasons, teams wouldn't be adding him at the deadline, So, but I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on Pham too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm a big fan. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him because of he gets an attitude or gets into it with people, but I'm all for it. Like I said, I like a little bit of old school baseball. He still has that old school baseball mentality. He is fast. He's got a solid bat. He's good in the outfield. He's on his 10th team now.
I would have to count. That's pretty close.
About right. I think he just hit his. I think he's on his 10th team now, which is interesting. But I think it's a good thing too. He's played around all these different players. But he's people get along with him for the most part. He's a seasoned baseball player, seasoned vet. But he was a Cardinal, so I'm always gonna be some type of a fan. Pittsburgh's interesting. I don't know. I'm not really sure where they're going with things. Who all did you say was in their outfield?
Well, we got Andrew McCutchen, who they had brought back, which I'm glad to see for the Pirates. Yeah, and Joshua.
Yeah,
Palacios,
and then McCutchen was the other one.
Yeah,
Palacios.
And then I guess,
they have O'Neal Cruz and Brian Reynolds out there as well.
Of course, I guess their plan was still to convert O'Neal Cruz to center field.
I mean, yeah, I see what they're doing. And, they also still have Henry Davis, who they converted to an outfielder last year. I don't think we're going to see Henry Davis catching too much. We could. Joey Bart is going to be – I want to say Joey Bart's either going to be DHing, or when he's not, he's going to be catching. They also have Andy Rodriguez, who I think could, be up there in that catching spot as well. So their pitching is amazing. So if it works out for him, I'm not going to be surprised. I think they could do a little more on offense. I think they should maybe go out and look for one more solid bat. But yeah, I mean, especially if Bubba Chandler is in that rotation by some point at this year, Skeens, Chandler, Jones, Keller, I mean, that's
Andrew Heaney they just added too.
That's up there. That's up.
Yep.
Ant Heaney, yeah, underrated. That would put it up there in my opinion, pushing with Seattle's rotation as far as top starting rotation. Once Bubba Chandler gets up there, at least, and then I mean that's something right there. But no, like I said, I'm all for Tommy Pham. I'm glad he was able to sign at the beginning before season started. I don't think he signed till mid-season, maybe last year. So to see him on a team and get to be out there for spring training, getting ready, that'll be fun. It'll be fun watching.
It's
Tommy
Pham. Kind of an unexpected sign, in my opinion. I just didn't see Tommy Pham going to the Pirates, but hey, if it works, it works. Good for him. Good for the Pirates. So. And I believe you had a Cubs prospect.
Yeah, so next week we'll probably hit on another 2, maybe 3. But I did want to throw one person out there, just because I haven't personally heard of him yet too much until recently. So he was actually in the Kyle Tucker trade, and I'm sorry. I was going to talk on Cam Smith, who was in the Kyle Tucker trade.
Okay.
I'm going to wait a little bit to talk about Cam Smith until next week because I still want to see. I think he's a great baseball player. I'm not sure if he'll be up for spring training, but I wanted to kind of talk about him and Bryce Eldridge at the same time. So I'm not going to talk about him, but I am going to talk about Cubs prospect, and that's Evan Breathauer, I think is how it's pronounced. Ivan Breathauer. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But he's been getting some Judge comparisons. I don't know if you were able to see his big home run in spring. I think he only has maybe single A experience. So that's what I was saying. I haven't heard too much about this guy. But he's about the same size as Judge. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7", 250, big guy, but his swing is identical. I mean, if you go look it up, it looks like another Judge out there. Kind of excited to see what they'll do or what he'll do because the Cubs right now, they have multiple prospects ready to come up. I mean, from him to Matt Shaw, Kevin Alcantara, and a couple pitchers down there. Cubs will be an exciting team to watch in the future with all their young talent come up, even Pete Crow Armstrong. What's your thoughts on the Cubs prospects and what their future is going to look like?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Similar to the Cardinals, I think we have a chance in the next few seasons to have a really good Cubs-Cardinals rivalry again. And some of their prospects, they've been impressing me. And the gentleman that you said, I'm ready to see more of him. And yes, I have seen his swing, and it's a thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And also something I'd like to note is that Sammy Sosa.
I know we mentioned.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sam, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't mean. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Sammy Sosa back in the Cubs dugout after 21 years. Final year was in 2004. Back in the Cubs dugout and helping some of these young guys and even some of the veterans on their team. And this is something that I really enjoy seeing because I've always liked Sammy. As a hitter, I think he should belong in the Hall of Fame. That's my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but you can't deny 609 home runs. It's just my opinion. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree, and forgive us for some of the lagging that we had. We're rookies
working on it.
So
yep.
Yeah. This will be the sloppiest baseball podcast you've ever heard. So no, but I like Sammy Sosa back in the dugout. That was really cool to see. Grew up watching Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. They really brought back baseball. A lot of people believe that they brought it back, and I'm with it. That was
Yep.
I think him and Mark should be in the Hall of Fame. If you take steroids, that doesn't mean you can hit a baseball. That's a hard
Right.
thing to hit. So before all the steroid use, if you look back on it, Mark McGwire was still putting up stats. So he was still hitting home run after home run without his steroid use. So same with Barry Bonds. Those will always be my top 3 sluggers. And I'll go ahead and throw Pujols in there too. But it's hard to. I mean, just seeing Barry Bonds come to the plate back the day, getting to watch out on TV, and I don't know, that was a thing of beauty. If he got the chance to actually swing, if not, he was probably taking the walk.
Yeah,
but
no kidding.
No, I'm the Cubs. The Cubs have a good one. If I guess did he take a coaching role or?
I believe it was coaching. I want to say I don't think it was hitting coach, even though that would still work too, in my opinion. But I think right now he's just the coach. It's still great.
Mm-hmm.
And just on a side note, he will be joining Derek Lee in the Cubs Hall of Fame this year in 2025.
Nice, Derek Lee.
I'm excited for that. Yeah,
another legend.
One of my favorites. Yeah, and yeah. I'm also kind of switching gears, maybe just a little bit to Jeffrey Yan. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, had a pretty different celebration after a strikeout mid-inning. What is your take?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know too much about him. It was brought up to me, obviously, the video that's been coming out, and it wasn't a one and done. It wasn't just a one batter deal. Apparently, he's known for that, and even that game, I think he did it multiple times on on his strikeouts. So, pitcher celebration, you don't see it too often, but I don't hate it. I think it fires himself up. It probably fires fans up, fires his teammates up, and be happy you struck somebody out. Now, if you're like sitting there taunting the players and pointing at them, laughing, whatever, then and then the next person takes you deep, you can't be, But if a batter has, you got the Soto shuffle, I mean, how that's got to get in pitchers' heads big time, and just the bat flips. Talking about the last episode with Zach Veen and pimping the bat and almost going out to the pitcher's mound. And, we all know about bat flips and people taking their time to go around the bases. Their 2-minute jogs to get home plate, and So if a pitcher wants to celebrate, how often do we actually see that, other than them yelling in their gloves, maybe when they're going back to the dugout, or maybe Joe Kelly. He
right.
He celebrates a little bit, but I don't know too much about him. I know Jeffrey Yan. I know he's an older pitcher, and I wasn't sure if he was a prospect. Yeah, he's 28, so he's got some time. I think he's been in the minors for about 10, 11 years. Maybe we'll see him at some point, and if we do, I hope he's doing that in the show.
Yeah,
that'll be fun
Tommy
to see.
Pham.
But yeah, we need to see that matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I guess my
spring training's been great.
Yeah, I agree. I guess my take on the Jeffrey Yan, I don't hate it because, like I said, I am an old school baseball fan. However, I do enjoy celebrations. Maybe for spring training, this was a little too much for me. But then again, hey, I mean, if he's been in the minor leagues that long and, he gets a chance at spring training, hey, I mean, yeah, I guess it's not too bad. But that's just my thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see if he makes it. Spring training's been fun to watch so far. mentioned earlier, home runs have been off the bat. We've seen Jordan Lawler hit home runs, Robert Hassel hit home runs.
Yep.
I think one of my favorite home runs to see so far has been Mike Trout. Mike Trout hit a home run, doing Mike Trout things. That's what he does. He hits the ball very far. Mike Trout, I really hope we see him play a full season. You know, I know he's moving to right field, I believe. So I think that he's probably going to be getting a DH role as well. I'll probably see him DH more to start the season, I would think, but maybe not. I don't know. I know Mike Trout wants to be out there, and it's maybe he's calling a lot of things, but he's wherever they want to put him. You know, he in his interview, he did say, you know, he's wherever coach wants me, he's gonna be okay with it. He just wants to play baseball. So I just want to see a healthy Mike Trout. Just one season, one more season of it at least.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure most
everyone
of the
can agree.
baseball fans out there could agree with that because he's special.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anybody that dislikes Mike Trout. I think everyone's rooting for him. A lot of people certainly aren't fans of the Angels just because some of the questionable moves that they made. Mike Trout, he did decide to stay there, and he wants to be loyal to the Angels, and I respect that. But we need to get this guy into postseason baseball. It's been over 10 years since he's been in the playoffs, and he's only had, 3 postseason games? I mean, I feel bad for him, you know?
Yeah, and he was just starting to show his true Mike Trout self last season too before he got injured.
Yep.
I think he ended up stealing 10 bags, and I remember I felt so bad just because he was hitting home run after home run, but they were just solo shot after solo shot. He had no other support around him. Nobody was ever getting on base, and it was just unfortunate. The Angels could, I mean, they also have some good prospects down there. You know, maybe, and they did make some off-season moves, more than I think most teams made. So maybe the Angels will be a sneaky team this year. I don't know. Hey, it's baseball.
Never know. Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Yep.
If that's the case, I'm gonna be for the Angels. Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Angels if they start making a run.
Yeah, just solely for Mike Trout too, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ben Joyce too. I'm a Ben Joyce fan. He talked about possibly in the future hitting 110 miles per hour. So if that ever happens, he's throwing 110 miles per hour accurately. Look at the interview though if you haven't seen it. He is on board to try to reach that goal. Somebody else talk about a little more this year too if he does get the playing time, because he does have a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
But hey everyone, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for listening, and next week we're gonna have a couple more prospects / breakout players, people that are fighting for position, and these are people that you can look into for fan any type of if it's a keeper league and you're able to keep prospects or just someone you're looking for. And yeah, we'll touch on that next time, and thanks for stopping in. 643.
Peace.